It's a happy and sad time here in the pop punk, metal, and rock community. That is because one of our favorite bands in the genre, Sum 41, are unfortunately breaking up. The news was announced last year that Sum 41 will disband after their final album, Heaven and Hell, and after a world headlining tour, and that time is now upon us. Let's talk about the 8th and now final album from the Canadian pop-punk, hard rock, alt-metal band Sum 41, Heaven and Hell. Sum 41 has always been a bit of an underrated group in the genre, bridging the gap between their pop-punk and alt-metal sound, and all in between that made their discography really great overall. I definitely enjoy their pop-punk efforts of All Killer No Filler and Doesn't Look Infected, but I've always found them to be an even better metal band, with the likes of Chuck, and especially their last album, Order in Decline, which is their best album in my opinion. With all the lineup changes, with Brown Sound leaving and joining the band again, to Steve-O leaving the band, to Tom and Frank joining the band, and Deryck's health, and as well as the mental struggles, this has been a wild ride. All roads led to this final album in 2024. Heaven and Hell is a double album that consists of 20 songs and 55 minutes in length. The concept of this album is half of it being pop punk and the other half being metal. Heaven is the pop punk side and Hell is the metal side. It's a cool concept, better than certain albums because Sum 41 are able to execute it well and make a great send-off to an amazing career. A combination of everything that they've done all in one tight package. This won't be a track-by-track review like the Green Day album, but I want to give my thoughts on the album and the songs overall. Landmines was the lead single and the first taste of the pop-punk side of the album. This wasn't a big favorite of mine when it came out, but it grew on me a lot, and it's a pretty fun and catchy pop-punk track. But when Rise Up was released as the next single, that got me so stoked for the album. This was the first taste of the metal side of the album, and this is Sum 41 at their best. The guitars are the main show here. It's vicious, aggressive, with its lyrics that can apply to anything. Deryck sounds great, and it's just a rager of a truck, and the solo from Brown sound amazing. Then the last single I heard was Waiting on the Twist of Fate, which was also very great. It reminded me a lot of Doesn't Look Infected, which is their best pop-punk album. Heavier than most of the pop-punk stuff that they've done, it has great energy and has a lot of fun. So after hearing the singles and the album, I do think that this is a very great album. It's not without its flaws, but it's something here that I think anyone can enjoy. Of the two sides of the album, the Heaven side is weaker, but that doesn't mean it's bad. There are great songs here that I like. I Can't Wait reminds me a lot of Blink-182 in a good way, and Time Won't Wait is fun too. It's just nice, fun pop punk. This might be an issue for some who want something new in the genre, and this can be said for a lot of the Heaven side of the album. If you want something new, you're gonna feel blue balled. But if you want to choose just to let loose and have fun, I think you'll enjoy this. I also want to highlight Future Primitive, which is very reminiscent of The Offspring with how punky it is. The guitar work from Brown Sound is great, and Frank's drumming is powerful here. There are some issues with the Heaven side because a couple of songs do feel like filler. Not Myself and Johnny Libertine I feel are very forgettable, and they're not really needed here. And also you can tell how some of the songs are predictable as they follow the same tone, vocal style, patterns of some of their past songs and other groups as well. It's not a big detractor for me, but it's apparent on songs like Dopamine, which sounds pretty similar to Bloody Valentine by MGK. I don't have a problem with it personally because I actually like Bloody Valentine. So the Heaven side, pretty solid overall. But the Hell side is even better.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
The Hell side of the album is far superior of the two and my favorite. It's mostly because of the menacing tone, supercharged guitars, and the vibe and energy of the album's metal side. Which proves my point of Sum 41 being an amazing metal band. Once again, I want to highlight Brown Sound's guitar work overall. He has always been an underrated guitarist with his riffs and solos, and on here, he provided some of the best of the band's discography as it's wild and ferocious. Stranger in These Times reminds me of Heads Will Roll from the last album. I Don't Need Anyone has an amazing chorus. House of Liars is aggressive, and You Wanted War is the best song here with its best solo and guitar work. All praise to Brown's sound. There is one filler song on the Hell side, and it's probably my least favorite on the entire album, and that is Painted Black, a Rolling Stones cover. I'm not super familiar with them, but I kinda remember this song. But the more I hear it, the more I feel it's not needed. I do want to talk about one last song here, and that is the closer, How the End Begins. The final Sum 41 song ever, and it's a bittersweet moment, but it's an amazing closer. I'll admit, I got a little emotional while listening to it, but it feels like a closer to a movie, and it's fitting that this song gives that feeling. This is the last song from the group. A wonderful closer. As a whole album, I truly feel that this was a fantastic album and a great one to end on. I've seen many people say that it's too long, not everything is great, and I do see the argument. I think if you're a big fan of the group, you'll enjoy this album, and if you're not, cherry pick a few songs here to save. There's a lot to love, and I'm happy that this is how the group chose to end things. As a final score, I'm going to be giving this album a 9 out of 10. Thank you Sum 41 for all of you've done. Your music will live on with us forever. At the time that I'm recording this, Sum 41 are on their first leg of their final world tour from April to May, with support from the Interrupters and Joey Valance and Bray. They'll continue in September and end in October for the US, and do a few last Canada shows in January of 2025. If you haven't seen them yet, now's the time to do so, because you may never see them again. Thank you guys for watching my in-depth review for the new and final Sum 41 album, Heaven and Hell. What did you think of the album? Was it a great send-off, or were you disappointed? Let me know in the comments below. I don't know how much more in-depth reviews I will be doing for the rest of the year, but we'll see what happens. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.